Hey y'all.
Hey, y'all. We're back.
This is Advice and Southern Tales, Tales. This is for entertainment purposes only.
Our advice is only an opinion.
That's right. And we all have different opinions, and we love you, whatever your opinion is.
Everybody is entitled to their own. And I told Leah, my dogs, when they know I'm on the phone, they're going to act up. So I'm sure there'll be breaks where I have to go let my dogs out. But I'm here with y'all because I've got the headset on. I've got my ear pods where Leah's got her pilot head on.
Look, these are so old. They look like snot hanging out of a kid's nose. These are
Let me
beets.
put my glasses on.
Do you remember when beets
I remember
were popular?
when that was when Ashley was in high school.
Yes, because
Yeah.
Pete brought me this fancy microphone, and he brought over these fancy headphones that were going to help me sound better, and they didn't work. I think I got some beats because I couldn't plug my phone like you got yours in your phone. I'm invested in ourselves in the Riverside Pro plan.
I just only have an iPad.
We are just so glad to be on the air.
I'm about to tell y'all.
Mm.
Me and Leah, we didn't ever publish that first podcast that we practiced. They don't know the story about us. We went to kindergarten together.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We were in a town of 3,500 people roundabout, and we have been friends since 5-year-old kindergarten.
And we've been through thick and thin together.
We just stuck.
No.
Another little bit about our history. At night, when I would go to bed, when I would start thinking of things that would come to me, we tried to write a book, and we decided we don't know how to write a book. So we decided that in order to do that, which we thought the book series would end up leading into a Netflix series, but we decided that we needed somebody to come to a cabin and us rent it for a week, us just talk and let them listen and write down whatever they wanted to, and that would be the start of the book. But
It didn't
we
work
never
out.
did it.
The reason I think Amanda and I really connected when we were in kindergarten is because we were both dyslexic, but we didn't know it because I diagnosed myself.
Yeah.
And then I diagnosed her because I am a teacher, but we're not going to go pay $600. But we're pretty sure.
I told my son the other day, I was going to say, do not put your life in his hands. And instead, I said, do not put your hands in his life.
That picture behind you is crooked. It's a pretty picture, though. I really like it.
Which way?
Yeah, a little bit more.
It's not going to stay there. I'll have to get some glue
Right.
or chew some gum and stick it behind it and stick it to the gum.
It's a beautiful picture. Where'd you get that?
I got that at Marshall's. It had a pretty gold frame on it, but about the time it had that gold frame on it was the time that chalk paint got popular. And I went and got me some chalk paint, and let me tell you something, I painted everything that would be steel. And Ed even said, now, you know, I still do like some wood in this house. I
Okay.
painted the bedroom suit, everything.
I'm going to try not to go to the bathroom because I have a bad experience with Zoom. It was back during COVID when we were trying to learn all that technology so we could Zoom with 7-year-olds and they would listen to us. And you know what? They were jumping on the bed.
If you thought they was listening to you, you were very naive.
No, the only time they were listening is when I put the puppets up there. Then
And me, as an adult, I loved that. If I had been your child in your room, that would have made the difference in me passing.
I wanted to be a teacher because I wanted kids to love school, and I didn't like it. Did you?
Only thing I liked about it was coming up there seeing y'all, but, you know, because
Yeah.
we got a lot of paddlings back then.
Oh, pass out. When they said pass outside the door, you knew.
When we moved back to Houston the first time, I had a call from one of my former teachers for me to do her hair. And oh my goodness, I was scared to death. She's the one that took the whole room outside and paddled the whole room. She came in there to get her hair done from me. She was the opposite of what I thought I had coming. She was so sweet, so kind, everything. I think it's just putting up, you know, the way kids act.
I love you to cut my hair. Matter of fact,
my
the reason
gosh.
I don't look so pretty tonight, I looked pretty this morning because I had on my Sunday go-to meeting. I had to come home and teach swimming lessons.
Listen, I admitted to my preacher one time because I used to cut his hair a long time ago. I said, I'm not going to lie to you. Every time I'm in church, I can't help but look at the back of everybody's heads. I look up at the big screen where he was preaching and I think, did I get them sideburns even? There is no way that I could go to church without thinking about something of hair. And I don't think that's a bad thing.
No, it's not. I know, but you're a little bit more fancy than me because you do makeup and hair, and I don't even know how to do all that. I just put on some lipstick and a hat because my
Well, that's
hair was
because
bad.
you look good and natural and I don't. When you see me natural, you'd be running the other way.
I've seen you natural. You look fine.
I had on a pair of white patent shoes and they looked like Bozo the Clown because I kept looking at that picture and I asked Mama one day, I said, why does my feet look so big? Is it the angle of the camera? And she goes, no, those were your cousins and they gave them to us. So I put toilet paper in the ends of them there to get your picture made.
Right.
And, but they did look so big on my feet in that picture.
One of my relatives told me they got their shoes stuck up under the lawnmower and they was glad they had their brother's shoes on.
Well, that would be something to be proud of.
Anyway, I'm teaching this week pediatrician. She's an adult, of course.
About made me get choked.
That's why we call each other Dumb and Dumber. But we don't say it about anybody else because I don't call anybody that.
You asked me last night when we were talking, doing a practice run, because we've been trying to get this going for a while.
I know.
You said, what did D group mean to you? And I said, and you know, normally a kid would be like, well, it was the lowest one of all of them. But I said, all D meant to me was it'd get you to the next grade.
Yep, you did. That was good.
Yeah.
What D means to me is dyslexic because I have learned a lot about it just from teaching kids that are dyslexic, having it in my family.
Here, you came over here to visit one time and you said, Amanda, I hate to tell you, but you are dyslexic. And I couldn't even say it for the longest time. I mean,
Yeah.
I really couldn't.
Well, it's fine. It's like 1 in 10 people, I believe.
Ain't a lot.
We could have a dyslexic club because we would be having fun with everybody in it because we're fun. We like to have fun. Anyway, this doctor that came to my swimming lessons, I was asking her, I said, have you ever been traumatized? You know, I'm wondering why she can't swim because her children came to me this summer and took and did great. Matter of fact, I told her, I said, your daughter's going to need to join the swim team one day because, I mean, she did awesome. She wanted to do some private lessons and she hadn't been traumatized. But I told her, I said, most adults that have been over here to my swimming lessons, they have been traumatized by they was thrown in the creek or just told to swim or they had somebody jump on their back. Told her, I said, most adults need to go to therapy before they come to swimming lessons.
Well, you know, but Daddy put that swimming pool in when we was like 14, and I remember all y'all coming over there.
Right.
And we didn't know the difference in summer and winter because even in wintertime, we'd go jump in that pool when it was green with algae and like could swim out of it being that cold.
Yeah,
you know, we didn't have nothing else to do
before they were in style.
Exactly.
You know, like back in the old days, I guess a lot of people didn't learn that didn't have a creek. People didn't have pools. But now, if you cannot swim, people go, why can't you swim? So if your kids can't swim, get them swimming lessons because there's actually one child that came over here this year that I just had to tell her parents I gave their money back.
Really? Wait.
Yes.
You gave somebody's money back that you couldn't teach to swim?
Right. Well, she was probably about 10 or 12. So what happened? They waited too late.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. Leah is the best teacher I've ever seen on swimming lessons. The stuff I've seen her do is unreal. And then her sister, she taught my daughter how to swim. And Ashley knows how to swim today because of Amy.
Well,
I mean, y'all just have it in your blood. And I don't know how you got it, but you do.
Yeah, I had to give their money back because I wasn't going to make them pay me for their daughter to sit over there on the step for 5 days. And then on show out day, when all the parents come, they would be like, well, why can't our kids swim? Let me tell you, you waited too late. And I'm
But
not going to
there's still
fight.
hope for that one.
Well,
It'd be
I don't
taking a
know.
lot of private lessons.
I know. Well, if they won't put their face in, it's hard to teach them to swim. And I can't fight with a 10 and 12-year-old. Like, I can't risk getting hurt. I've gotten too old,
No.
And so when they're that terrified, it's just like, um, maybe the YMCA. I don't know.
Yeah. I do know by doing hair, every person you come in contact with, you're not going to be able to do it for them.
That's right.
And it's kind of bad a little bit, like it butt hurts you a little bit, but it's just the truth.
One time I had one come over here. I didn't know him. On Wednesday, my son said, Mama, he's mad. He was walking out of that pool and kind of stomping out. And so I followed him out of the pool. I said, is there a problem? And he said, yeah, my kid's just not doing what everybody else is doing. And I'm like, well, okay, maybe you need to teach him to swim. And he said, I've tried. I said, if he's not swimming by Friday, I'll give you money back. Sure enough, at the end of that lesson, he started taking off, and it's just they have to trust me before.
So we have a visitor. He acts like he's still one. Maybe because, I'm a little bit lenient, more on my dogs than I were on my kids.
I am the same way, and I was just thinking about that today.
I get by with a lot of stuff that I wouldn't let my kids get by with.
Let me tell you, if one of my kids had chewed the windowsill up,
Annette, you would have had a big dentist bill.
Mr. Pup, he needs to go to the dentist. He's got some plaque on his teeth, but I probably do too. I have a friend that's a dentist. She'll go, when's the last time you had your teeth cleaned? And I get them cleaned twice a year, but I do have to get the happy gas because I just
you know what?
don't like going to the dentist.
To the dentist, even with the happy gas, and my dentist actually do their hair, so they're always calling me saying, you need to come over here and get your teeth cleaned. I say, no, just give that appointment to somebody that'll pay. I don't have to get them over there and get them clean. I'll just put some peroxide in there and baking soda because I don't like to do it now. I do have to have that gas. I think that was due to our childhood dentist.
I just remember getting a tooth pulled when we were going to have to get our braces. And I kept telling him, I feel it. And he's like, there's no way you can feel it. But I did. And so now,
Leah,
matter of fact, they told me I might need a Xanax too.
oh my gosh. Listen,
because I get to shaking my leg like so bad I can't stop.
My hands sweat. I could put a half a cup of water in a bucket with my hands dripping off sweat. Can you believe our mom and daddy sent us to the orthodontist when we was 15 years old by ourselves?
No. We had to drive 45 minutes.
That
was a
is.
bad road.
Yeah.
It's horrible. But that 389, our other good friend, her daddy and my daddy used to go to games at Mississippi State. They were the biggest fans. And do you know, one night we were doing a three-way call with him, and he was telling me things I didn't know because my daddy died when he was 52. But he said, yeah, I remember we used to go to the state games on Highway 389, and it was a dirt road. Did you know that?
I never knew it as a dirt road, but I broke down on that road one time coming home.
Oh, I was with you.
That was one time, but I broke down another time by myself, and I thought I was going to die because you didn't know who was going to stop. I'd watched too many of them shows, and now I would have really thought I was going to die if I'd been watching all what I've been watching now. We didn't have a cell phone.
No, I remember when my husband made me get my first bag phone in my car, and
Me too.
I was mad about it. I was like, why would I need a phone in my, like, seriously? And so I was like, that's just a waste of money because I'm frugal. Times have changed. I remember my mama being working on the phone, frying some chicken.
And it would go all the way back to your bedroom if you needed it to.
Yes, it would.
And you know what? I had a lady in the other day that she was talking about that, and I said to her, if you think about it, and I mean y'all, really think about it, we didn't think those phones hanging on the wall would be gone. Like, they seemed like that was going to always be the way it was.
That's right.
And then now, she said her grandchild, she pulled it out just doing an experiment, and they didn't even know how to dial the phone.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember going to my grandma's. They had a party line, and we would get on it and listen to her neighbors talk.
Off
Oh,
of
they'd
here.
get mad when they'd hear
It'd
you.
say, get off of here.
They sure
Oh.
did. And my grandmother would get mad too because she didn't want to think it was her.
What? I would have had to meet face to face back then.
Times have changed. And then we got
Yeah.
those big old cordless phones.
Oh, the ones with the antenna on the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you had to put
And
the
then everybody
antenna.
would lose it though. And I was
Oh, it's
like,
like the dang remote control. Like
I was like,
now, if we still had those phones today and we didn't have our cell phones, I would put me an Apple AirTag on it. But then I don't guess I'd have a cell phone to find it.
well, let me tell you something. I was going to say Apple would be the winner in this because I can't tell you how many times I don't press my button on my watch to find my phone.
And call on these watches.
Yeah, I
You
paid
remember
for
that
that
story?
extra. Oh my
Remember that
gosh.
story about me getting stuck out on the balcony?
That was literally, if you hadn't had that, I don't know how long you would have been out there.
I would have been out there all night because my husband would have fallen asleep in the chair and probably stayed there all night.
Well, for the people that don't know about it, tell them just a scenario of what you was doing.
This is true. It was Christmas. Catherine had gone to college, and I was out on the little balcony. I have a French country house.
But
Well, I
she's
thought
got a
you
pretty
did.
house with those little fake balconies.
Well,
you
it's
know,
really, you can walk
you
out
got a
there.
little one. It's like a
But
little
it's
bitty one.
little. Yeah, it's about 2 feet. But I do have these doors up there, so I wanted to put some wreaths on them, which I do every year.
It feels like it comes around really fast. So last year was my first year to do this. I just left my garland up on my mantle, and I left my little tree up on the stairway and the little tree over there in the living room. And I did undecorate. I just left my decorations out because you know what? It comes more often than not. So I just left them out.
I was telling the story about getting stuck on the balcony, and the door was locked when I tried to walk back in. So I started beating on the door, nothing. Eddie had the TV blaring. He's got hearing
Plus,
aids.
he can't hear.
Right, and he turns it up loud. So I was like, okay, he can't hear me. So I start holding on the railing on the balcony, taking my foot, kicking the door. And that went on for about 2 hours. It was cold. I was getting really cold because I didn't take a coat, or I thought I was going to be out there 30 seconds. And it turned into 2 hours, maybe
What'd
3.
the window do? Lock behind you?
The door, and it locked. So I was stuck out there. It was starting to get dark, and I was waving at people driving by in the neighborhood. I was like, hey, I guess they had their
Trying
music
to
up
flag
and they
'em
couldn't
down.
hear me. And it was
Mm.
getting darker. And I sat down. I was about to cry, and I'm not a crier. And I looked at this watch. If Apple wants to sponsor us, I would love it because, like, I love
Listen.
Apple. Wait. But I figured out that watch can probably text. Pate had given it to me for my 50th birthday. And so I went on that little message, and I started typing calm, C-O, and I finally typed it, and he came up there laughing.
And
He's
see,
like,
you
what?
could have voice recorded. But Siri don't always understand my country voice.
I know, but I was like, Eddie, why have you not come up here?
And
I've
checked
been
on me.
banging for 2 hours. You know what he said? I
What?
thought you was hanging pictures. And I was like, for 2 hours?
Because you were
Plus-"
hammering on the wall, I guess. He thought you was hanging up pictures.
I said, we have lived here 15 years. Like, how many pictures do you think I could hang up there? Like,
Ashley and Bella, they get more excited over Halloween than they do Christmas. They
Yeah.
love Halloween. I mean, they go all out. Listen, they change now. I feel like this, y'all can decide, but I feel like this is extreme. They even change their window treatments.
really?
Yeah. They love the Halloween, like they get all into it.
Well, some people don't like it, but I just never looked at it as the devil's holiday.
No, I don't either. I think it's fun.
I've been in the classroom 18 years, and the ones that couldn't participate at the Halloween party, so then we started calling it a fall party.
We got to realize there are people that don't observe holidays, and that's fine. And
No, it is fine.
I'm only talking about my personal childhood and adulthood experiences.
I'm just saying, if my parent had told my teacher, don't let Leah do anything related with Halloween, I probably would have told that teacher, hey, since everybody else is doing it, I want to do it, and I won't tell my mama that you let me do it. Well, I just always tried to give them something fun to do. Like I'd give them the iPad or something, and I don't even like kids on technology too much.
I mean, Ashley, whenever she was a little girl, I mean, our Mondays consisted of getting up and doing whatever we wanted to do. And then midday, I'd be like, let's put on Cinderella. And then she'd watch Cinderella while I took a nap.
All our kids are smart,
but they turned out good.
I think it's because they all love to read. We're smart too.
We take a little extra time getting there.
Right. Well, we've had fun talking with y'all, so I think this is a good place to stop. Bye, y'all.
Right. Bye, y'all.
Remember,
See
this is
you
for
later.
entertainment purposes only. Okay.
All right. Bye.
Bye.